Hello, I am JoEllen. I am a certified makeup artist and licensed esthetician, and I help women take their skin from blah to beautiful so that you can fall in love with your skin again. Now, I'm 40 and I'm getting the signs of aging, and so I specifically help women over 40 love their makeup and their skin again. Now, if you're wearing the same makeup that you were wearing when you were 20, it's probably time to change. Or if you're applying your makeup the same way that you were a decade or two ago, it's time to change. Like, your skin changes and you need to change with it. And so I am a firm believer that less is more. I love makeup. I sell it. I teach about it. I help women feel confident with their makeup routine, but I also believe that you don't need to pile on a ton of makeup to look beautiful. When you have a great skincare routine, when you're putting in good nutrients on your face and your skin will look nice and healthy and glowy, and then you need to use less makeup. We don't need to pile on the products. And so today I want to show you a great light coverage makeup look. This is great for the hot summer months as we're going into that, or it's also just great for everyday wear as a woman who is over 40, because less is more. So I've already done my eyes. I just did a really simple eyeshadow and just a little bit of eyeliner and a little bit of mascara, but I want to show you how you can get a nice light coverage makeup look with the rest of your face. So this is what we're using. I'm using cream makeup. This is my very favorite. This is my customized palette. I have my my contour, I have my bronzer, my contour, I have my foundation colors, and I have my cream blushes, and I have my concealers. This right here is all customized to me and my skin, and that's the key to having light coverage makeup, is having the right color makeup. Because when you have the right shades, you don't need to use a lot. So I'm just using this palette with these two brushes to get a nice, quick, light coverage makeup look that's also gonna help you look beautiful. We're taking that blah skin that just doesn't have a lot of life to it, that needs to be evened out, that has, some discolorations showing signs of aging. We're taking it from that blah to that beautiful, so you feel confident in how you look. So what I love to start with is cream bronzer. I do that a little bit all over my face first. Such a very, very light layer. It's a great way to kind of even out your skin tone, give a little bit of color on your face before you put your contour and your highlight on, so that you actually end up using less product. And I'm using, you can't even see on my brush, it's like such a small amount. It's not a ton. So just a very small amount of bronzer first will help you end up using less makeup in the next few steps. So very light layer of that cream bronzer. And I love cream makeup for mature skin because it really melts into the face. It doesn't enhance the fine lines, the wrinkles, the texture. It really melts in and moves beautifully with our aging skin. I feel like it's the most natural makeup. If you were to choose between powder and liquid and cream for sure is the best. Now I go in with my contour. So I take my brush and I put that on my brush, and I'm gonna apply contour on the points of my face that I want to add some shape and shadow and dimension. So like my cheekbones, I want those to kind of pop a little bit. I'm just applying it right on. So this right here is where my cheekbone starts, and I'm applying it right on my cheekbone, like right beneath it and right on it, to create that dimension. So now I have a little bit more of a shadowing right there. That's what contour is all about. Contouring is about adding shadow to your face. And this whole system that I'm using is all foundation. It's 3D foundation. So I'm just applying one layer on the areas of my skin where I need it. So yes, I did apply a light layer of bronzer first. So that is one small layer. But then after that, everything else just is applied in one layer. I'm not putting all of these colors layer over layer over layer on my face. By the time that I'm done, I will just have that one layer on my face, because they're foundation shades, just in different colors. Contour is part of the foundation. My highlight is part of the foundation, and my blush is part of the foundation. So you end up using less makeup because it's all different colors, but it provides that coverage. So I'm doing a little bit along my forehead, and I'm leaving this part right here untouched because I'm gonna put my highlight right there. I wanna create this triangle of light right here. So this part is shadowed, and then we'll have that triangle of light right in the middle of your forehead. So I did some contour right here on my cheekbones, on my forehead, just a small amount of layering. And if at this point you want to really define your jawline, you can also take this along your jawline and down your neck to make that look slimmer. I have a pretty defined jawline, so I don't usually do that so much, but that's just to help you see your options with contouring. Okay, now I have 3 different highlight colors. Why? I like to have 3 in my palette all the time because our face has different shades on it. Like my chin and my nose is darker than my forehead. So I need a darker highlight shade for those areas. And then also throughout the year, my skin will change colors depending on the amount of sun exposure that I have. So we're going into summer, my skin is gonna be darker, and so I'm gonna be reaching for my darker highlight more often because my skin will be darker. In the winter time, when my skin is lighter, I reach for my lighter one more often because my skin is lighter. So it's just nice to have 3, a light, a medium, and a dark, so you can mix and match and just have all the colors that you need whenever you need them, depending on what your needs are. So I'm gonna go in with my darkest one, and I'm gonna put that right on my chin because my chin is darker than the rest of my face. And I'm just doing a small light layer. You don't need a lot of product, just need the right colors, and you won't need to use a ton on your face. And then if you feel like this is too big, you can always put your brush, flip it around, and do the smaller side. I like to work in layers. It's always easy to add more than it is to take away. So I just do a little bit at a time and use it until I have the desired look. Now I'm gonna go into my medium shade, and I'm gonna apply this right along my jawline. This will kind of clean up my contour line, so it has a little bit of a crisper line that way, and then also help even out that skin tone and match my neck. So you want your jawline and your neck to match, so make sure you have a good highlight color that doesn't make you look like a bobblehead. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, just stippling and then swirling and brushing it so it's nice and blended. And you take more up into my cheek, and that same color right on my forehead. Now that's why it's so nice to have 3, at least 2 different colors of highlight, so that you can kind of mix and match and kind of play paint by numbers on your face and really match the skin coloring the best as possible. Now this next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a blush color. I like to have 2 different shades depending on my mood, depending on what I'm wearing, depending on the look that I wanna go for. Let's go in with this nice pink color. I take that and I apply it right on the squishiest part of my cheek, but then I blend it up into my contour. So I'm getting the fullest part of my cheek, but I'm also creating that nice lift by adding it into my contour. And just add as much or as little as you want. I just love how blush just gives you that natural flush look. It adds color to your face. It just helps you look more alive and more youthful. So just add as much blush as you want until you get the desired look. So I just do a little bit at a time, and I just flip my brush over to blend it so that it looks nice and natural. Okay, so at this point I go in with my tiny little brush, and these right here are my color correctors, or you can also call them your concealers. This is what's gonna really help my dark circles. And we all have them. We all have a little bit of darkness underneath our eyes. We have the imperfections that we want to conceal. But first, before I go into these, I'm actually going to go into my bronzer, and I'm going to help even out my under eye area by putting a little bit of bronzer on the lightest points of my under eye area, just so that evens out the darkness and the light contrast. So I just do just a tad right here because that's a little bit lighter than the darkness right here. And already my dark circles don't look as dark. So I'm just using such a small amount, tiny bit on my brush, and I'm applying it just on the lightest points to help even out that contrast. So we already see my darkness doesn't even look as dark because I was able to kind of bridge that gap between the dark and the light colors. So now I'm going to go in with this orange yellow. It's YO1. I'm going to go right in to my corner of my eye where it's really the darkest and applying that to cancel out that darkness. And really, it's all about going back to art school, color science. I'm using colors that will help, that are complementary colors that help cancel out the distraction colors. So this YO1 will help cancel out that kind of bluish purple that's in my inner corner. Now I'm going to go in with this orange color. This is O3. And I'm going to do it right here where I have purpley, kind of reddish. I'm using such a small amount. I'm only applying it where I actually have that darkness. And I already do see how it just helps disappear those distractions. I love it. And I'm not using a ton because the more product you put underneath your eyes, the more it will crease. It's just a matter. No matter how much makeup you put underneath your eye, it will crease. But with this, I'm using such a minimal amount of product that it will not crease. Beforehand, I did my skincare, I washed my face, I toned it, I put a serum on my face, and then underneath my eye, I put an eye elixir, which is a nice hydrating, lightweight, moisturizing product underneath my eye. So I prepped it, and then by using just these products, it's such a minimal amount that I will not have creasing. Whereas a lot of times we put so much product underneath our eyes because we want to conceal the darkness, the fine lines, the wrinkles, the hyperpigmentation, the dark circles. We're just like, put on the products because I want to cover it up. But by putting on so much product, it will crease throughout the day and will just look heavy and it will look cakey. But not with this method. Using such a small amount of product conceals the darkness, but will not get that heavy, cakey makeup look. Now at this point, I like to take my lightest highlight shade and I like to kind of take it along my nose, and I have this kind of natural red spot right there that it kind of adds to the distraction of my dark circles, but by just putting just a small amount of this light highlight shade right there, it just makes it disappear. And using a small brush really helps limit the amount of product that you're putting on your face. So I'm just doing a little bit. I also wear glasses, and so right here is red a lot, just because of where my glasses sit. And so by just taking that just a little bit, it just helps that disappear. And I'm bringing this right along my cheek to brighten that a bit, but it's not that lighter of a color. These are all very gradual, dark, medium, light. So it doesn't look like this stark contrast. And then I like to take this and also bring the lightest color right down along the bridge of my nose to brighten that a little bit. So using that small brush allows me just to use a small amount of makeup. I also notice I have a little bit of a blemish down here. So I'm gonna go in with my darkest highlight color because you want a dark color to really conceal your blemishes the best. And there I now have just erased that. If you take a close look of my skin, you can actually see my skin texture. You don't look and see makeup. It is my skin. You see my pores, you see my wrinkles. So it's very light coverage, but now my skin looks more evened. It looks more alive. It went from that blah to now more beautiful and has more dimension. Now as a last step, I'm gonna take this cream Illuminator and I'm just gonna put a little bit right from my cheek to the top of my cheekbone. And this just adds a nice little shimmer. It gives you that nice glow. That's what we want. As we age, we don't want our skin to look dull and dry. We want it to look glowy and moisturized and youthful. And adding cream makeup, and then also like topping it off with this cream Illuminator will help give it a nice healthy look. And you can also, I can use my blush as my lip color too. So there is a very light coverage makeup look that looks natural and it's not heavy. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup, but I am wearing makeup. I love this so much. I also want to show you one quick thing. I have this hyperpigmentation spot right here that I like to take my darkest highlight shade and just lightly dab that to help minimize that area too. And so having a compact full of customized colors for my skin tone helps me wear less makeup. It matches me perfectly so that I don't have to wear a ton, because what looks horrible on women is when they're wearing the wrong shade of makeup and they're wearing way too much. It makes you look older. Wearing less makeup and wearing the right colors will help you look younger. It'll help you look more real. It'll help you look more natural and help you just have that healthy, glowy skin. So if you have specific questions on what I used in my palette, please message me. I can also put the information on how to get a color match from me so I can color match you to your custom makeup palette so that you have the exact colors that are gonna look great on you so that you can get by with wearing less makeup so that you look younger. I want you to look your best. I want you to feel confident in your skin and in your makeup, and I want you to have that beautiful, healthy, happy, glowy skin. Doesn't matter what age you are, you can look and feel amazing. I really believe that when you feel good and you look good, you do good. And we need more good in this world. So let's put a little time into ourselves so that we can look and feel good and then share that with others. Have a fabulous day, and I will chat with you later. Ciao.